Hey everyone, today we're going to be making some homemade yogurt. And there are lots of ways you can make it as thick as you want. So let's go see how to do that. So in the crock pot, I have poured a whole gallon of milk. Let's go take care of the animals first, and then I'll show you what to do here. It's cold, isn't it? I know. The goal is to reach it to 180 degrees. I set it to 5 degrees less because inevitably it'll go a little bit hotter than that. And then immediately afterwards you have to cool it down to about 110 or 115. So you don't want it to get too high above 180 for sure. The thing I really like about this recipe is that you can use your own store-bought yogurt as a starter. There are just a couple things you need to pay very careful attention to. First of all, you want it to be plain yogurt. It can't be, strawberry yogurt or anything else. And if you get one with no added sugar, that will even help you more. And then I think this is actually the most important. You look for ones with the most beneficial bacteria in it, because that's what makes yogurt. So here you can see this has 5 different strains of live active yogurt cultures. This is the highest number I've found, but as long as you have more than 3, it should be pretty good. Plus, I mean, this is huge, but we only need about a half cup of this. I tend to go with a cup just to make sure that we have enough in there. So it beeped and it automatically goes to warm. So now here's the tricky part, because I do not have a thermometer that beeps when it comes down to the appropriate temperature. So I'm going to actually turn this off, and I will have to come through continually and check the temperature. So right now it's at 174. I'll just have to come back here regularly and see when it gets there. Do you remember me saying that it would quickly cool down? Yeah. No. I've been waiting for hours and we're almost there. So I'm going to grab the yogurt, make sure the rack is on the bottom of the oven and that it's nice and cool and ready for the whole crock pot to go in. And that's very important, because if the bacteria, the live active cultures as they say, is subjected to heat higher than 120 degrees, it will likely die. And then instead of having yogurt, you'll have spoiled milk in the morning. And nobody wants it. It's the next morning and we have yogurt. All right, y'all, it's time. Now, this holds a whole gallon of milk with some room to spare, and this bowl is almost as big. So I'm using a huge bowl to catch the whey, and then I use a mesh grill cover for a strainer, and then we're gonna line this either with cheesecloth or coffee filters. This is why I prefer cheesecloth. But I'm going to start putting it up here and it'll help weigh everything down. You can see how it drips and it's really runny. If you like it this way, you can stop here and you don't even have to strain it. We like ours really thick. So we're going to strain it for a couple of hours. And then we'll have Greek yogurt. And then the next part is I'm going to show you how to make your own homemade frozen yogurt. I'm so excited about this one, but I've never done it before, so I'm going to be following a recipe, and I'll add that link in the description. So then we have 2 bowls, and this one is going to be made into frozen yogurt, but you'll have to come back for another video for that one. And then all you have left in the bottom of the bowl, that is called whey. And there are a million uses for whey, but we're just gonna feed it to our pigs. I really like to make bread with it, and I use the whey as a substitute for the water, and it gives it kind of a sourdough taste without being actual sourdough bread. But there are many other ways to use whey. Please leave your favorite in a comment below. All right, y'all, full disclosure. I have looked everywhere for the recipe for the homemade frozen yogurt without an ice cream maker, and I cannot find the one that I found before. But in all of my research, I've learned several things that most recipes do not include. So first of all, you really need to use as much of a fatty yogurt as possible. So we made ours with whole milk, so that would be good. And also, you really shouldn't use honey or other natural sweeteners because the sugar inhibits ice crystals from forming, so you really need actual white processed sugar in the recipe if you want to keep it in the freezer. Now you can use honey and other things, but you would want to eat that as soon as possible, or else it's going to freeze into a solid block of ice. So I'm going to try to wing this, and we're gonna see how it goes. I've learned a lot. I think I can come up with my own recipe. Let's try it. So I've popped the bowl of yogurt in the freezer for about 15 minutes, and then I'm going to chop up the fruit that we're going to use, and we're going to use dragon fruit. It is delicious, a word to the wise. It made my daughter and I both run to the bathroom. So don't eat too much of it at once. And you might want to try out with a little bit and see how it goes, but that's actually why I'm trying to put it in the frozen yogurt, because it'll make a little bit stretch the flavor throughout it without as potent of maybe a side effect. And then you want to line your bread pans with, I used freezer paper here, but you can use whatever you want. I chose freezer paper because it's thicker than parchment paper, but basically you want to be able to lift it out once it's all frozen. And then the other thing you need will be a blender. This is what it is on the inside. The seeds are what gives you the side effects. Now I'm going to use just half of one for each bread pan. All right, perfect. And I almost forgot. I want to grow these in my garden because they can grow, and they grow on cacti. So we're gonna set these off to the side to grow in our windows. I'll get a few. Oh, that's our timer for the yogurt. Now, this is a yellow dragon fruit. When I grow them, I am going to be looking for a purple dragon fruit or red dragon fruit, because when they pollinate, they will both grow bigger and sweeter fruit if they can pollinate with different species. So, if you know where to find them, let me know. So this bowl is 5 cups. If it were all the way up to the top, I'm going to say it's 4 cups, and I'm going to do 2 cups of yogurt per dish. Okay, 2 cups of yogurt going in. Now, it's best if you strain as much water out of this. We already did that when we strained all that whey out. So, and it's frozen too, so you can just see how very thick that is. And half a cup of sugar. Now again, if you wanted to, you could use honey, but honey will not keep the ice crystals dissipated like sugar will. Then we'll blend it until the sugar completely dissolves into the mix. There we go. That looks really good. We're going to put it in the freezer, and we're going to set a timer for 30 minutes, and we're going to keep stirring it every 30 minutes for 2 hours. You want to try some?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Mm.
No double dipping. No. Abby! Is it that good? So this is my 4th time stirring it, and just now it's starting to freeze around the corners. We're just gonna pull that in, mix it in. I've been kind of whipping it to make sure there are air bubbles, so that hopefully that will help it to be more of a soft serve instead of a solid block. And the sugar should help it not to get ice crystals and whatnot, but we'll just see how it goes. It's starting to look pretty promising though, so I'm pretty excited. All right, so we have been stirring these every half hour. This one is kind of not quite the same consistency of ice cream yet, but it's starting to get there. Let's stir this one and see how this one's doing. Hey, Abby, can you hold this while I stir? Thank you, girl. Yeah, so this is a little bit softer than I like, but I think next time it'll be perfect. However, I think I'm gonna put the 2-in-1 since they're both about halfway, so that we don't have so many dishes. And then I think we're gonna service up some homemade frozen yogurt in slushy form, because we're all super excited to try it. Right, Abby?
Right.
All right, love, what do you think?
Mmm.
Is it really good?
This is really good. Love it.
Dragon color?
You know, it's like yogurt, but it's sweet.
Yeah. Good.
I was going to eat just a spoonful, but it's so good.
I'm so glad you like it. All right, try it. Is it good? Numb.
The wife's turn.
Oh my word. That is good.
It is.
That is really good.
Good job, dear.
Thank you.
And this was your first time, too.
I know, and I really didn't have a recipe to go by. I just grabbed from a bunch of different things and made my own.
You knocked it out of the park, too. Good
Well,
job.
thank you. One suggestion I would make for my followers is that if you're doing this, start it super early in the day. It took so many stirrings to get it to this point, and it's like after 10 o'clock at night, so start it early in the day.